Hello, my name is Zachary Van Sliders with Old Man Gaming, and I'm here to bring you a very special show. I was encouraged by Foundation 4 member Phil Billy to do this, so I'm kind of excited and nervous about it, but I am going to do you... anybody who's seen my review by now, by the time this goes up, of Legends of Runeterra, the collectible card game for mobile, you can tell that I'm very excited about it, and I have been playing it quite a bit, so... I thought, what better way than to transfer it into a video. So what I'm going to bring you is the beginner's guide, if you will, to Runeterra as a card game. So if you're coming into this blind, maybe you haven't played a lot of collectible card games, even digitally or whatever, basically I'm going to give you the run-of-the-mill of how to get into the game, and I'm also going to give you the build of a deck that probably isn't the best deck ever, but this is a deck that you can get relatively easily from the progression system, and it'll win you some rank match. It's gotten me all the way up to Bronze 1 at this point, so I've definitely got my wins with it. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, first and foremost, Runeterra is a collectible card game. Don't need to talk about that, but I do want to go over the standard no's. Like, when you go into it, you're going to get a tutorial, play the tutorial. The tutorial's great. However, it doesn't really teach you everything you need to know about the game. So the number one thing I want to talk about is next to the quests on the screen that you're seeing, kind of down towards the bottom, there will be a little box. That isn't there anymore for me because I've been playing it so long, but basically it's your login for the first time bonus. You get first 7 days you log in. They don't have to be sequential. You'll get some cards, some chests, and eventually on the 7th day a full deck extra pre-made for you, which all add into your collection and allow you to create some pretty cool stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is the quests, and this is all based on the XP, which I'll talk about in a second when I get to progression, but this is just like the base things that you want to watch. But you want to build your XP because that earns you the cards. So the next thing is the quests. I don't have any quests right now because I've completed them all, but it'll start with 3. As you complete these quests, they'll give you a lot of XP, like big dumps, like 1,000 to 2,000 bonus XP, which is huge. A lot of times just completing one of these quests will get you a pack of some sort. And you'll start with a certain number of rerolls. I have used all mine. You usually get 1 reroll and 1 quest every day. And it's usually faction specific, which is why you're going to want to reroll it a few times to get what you want. Finally, the weekly vault. You only get this on Tuesday, but the more you play, the more experience gets shoved into it. And then on Tuesday when you unlock it, it is just like a rain of cards. You can also see at the bottom, you get some extra stuff. You'll get the one token thing is an expedition token. I haven't actually tried expedition yet. It's kind of like a draft system from other CCGs. I'm not going to go into it in depth. Just look up drafts from other card games. You'll understand. And then right now I've got it boosted up to where I get a champion wild card, which means I can use it to claim a champion card of any faction. But that only unlocks on Tuesday, but the more you play between Tuesdays, the higher your chest gets and the more cards you get unlocked on that Tuesday. Okay, with that out of the way, I wanted to show you next the progression system. So right when you first start, this is going to look a little bit different, okay? So we'll go into rewards, and then you'll see what I have earned so far. I am on the Bilgewater progression. I'll get into that in a minute, but when you first start, this is going to say prelude or I think prologue, and it's not going to be faction specific, but it's going to have this long tree. As you earn experience points, this bar will unlock things. You can see I'm halfway between epic and platinum chest an epic card and platinum chest right now on my Bilgewater tree. But like I said, this will start with the prologue prelude thing. Once you advance all of that, all the way to the thing, and you resolve that, then you will be able to pick what place you decide to earn cards for. So, like, I can change my region. I can actually pick Ionia. But you can see how many I've earned for Ionia. Doing pretty good on Ionia, too. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because it's one of the good things and bad things about the game. Good thing being that you can really earn the cards that you want. Bad things is it kind of hamstrings you in the beginning. being that you can use cards from any 2 factions, you're only ever really earning cards from 1 faction in this manner. Like, you'll earn a good amount of them in the prologue section, but you won't be able to, like, really branch out until you start really busting these trees open. And these trees, they're a grind. So, here's my first a bit of tip, my big tip from all this. Do the prologue or prelude progression tree, just do it against the AI. What I mean is, when you go into play, you can see there's versus player, versus AI, expeditions, and challenges. I recommend you do versus AI, and you just do it with one of the starter decks. Now, just showing you the starter decks, as you can see on my screen, there's Buff and Tough, Death and Spiders, Freeze and Decay, Spells and Stealth, and that is it. Those are your starter decks for just playing the game and getting used to it. Pick one of those decks. Pick one of them each time and just play versus AI and just grind it out. The AI isn't super hard, and it'll help you learn the system of the game, how things work. Runeterra is very different as far as collectible card games go from other things. Even if you're coming from, like, being a Hearthstone regular, this is not going to look like it normally does to you, and it's going to feel and play very differently. So what you want to do is, just like I said, pick one of the pre-made things and just grind it out. I say play with all of them, at least a little bit. They'll give you an idea of each faction and what that faction kind of tends to do. Just stay aware of the cards, kind of try and memorize the traits, and kind of get a feel for what each faction does. I'm not going to go into every faction right now. I know this is a beginner's guide to everything, but we're trying to keep it clean, and I'm just trying to get you an entry point into this. So I'm going to stick to the faction that I'm going to be showing you how to build a deck for. So, with all of that done, we'll get into the deck construction itself. Now, the deck construction is very... First of all, with the way you want to build this deck is not, like I said, not the greatest ever, but if you play the prologue and you don't spend any of your wild cards or any of your crafting material until you're done with prologue. That's what I'm saying. Don't make any decks, just save all those wild cards and stuff up until you get through the prologue. Once you're through the prologue, you should have enough shards for crafting cards, as well as wild cards for, bonus cards, that you'll be able to, for the most part, make this deck, okay? Again, this deck also circumvents needing to really have 2 areas. It's a 1-area deck. It's directly built on Ionia, okay? So all you need is Ionia cards, and you only need 1 champion, and that's it, all 3, all right? So with that said, I'm actually just going to go ahead and build the deck in front of you so that you can see what it is. You can see right here, I already have the deck. That's the deck. That's the deck that's winning me the most things. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys right now. So, going to new deck. So, now we're going to go through and just shift it to Ionia. Now, I'm going to show you real quick. That's a card I have all of them on. But if you click on any card, one of the great things is it's going to show you everything that card does. If you hold your finger on one of them, you'll be able to see exactly what each of the traits or anything highlighted does. You can also quickly scroll through to see what the champion level's up to, what cards you get from it, everything that plays with that card. So if you want to kind of learn what's going on. Now, again, up here is where you'll see the wild card. You see where it says wild card here. Then it'll say crafting. I have a balance of 212 right now. You'll have a high balance when you're done with this. And then coins are if you actually want to spend real world money. I'm trying to make it so that you don't have to. But you'll have a high balance of shards. You'll have a good amount of wild cards for all different rarities. So that should allow you to craft out the cards that you need. That's the hopes anyway. So, right off the bat, we need 3 Zeds. Okay, he's our champion. He's not necessarily a linchpin card, though. There's going to be a lot of combos that you can win with in this deck. So, we need 3 Zeds right off the bat. Okay, so he's in. We then scroll down to our first number 1 point card. We need 3 ghosts. Now, I know this seems a little ridiculous. You're going to think it's ridiculous later, since I'm picking a lot of cards that get elusive anyway. But the ghost all it does is give you elusive for 1 turn, but it will allow you to get Zed to level up faster. And Zed, he has quick attack, but once he and his shadow, he summons that every time he attacks, has attacked twice, he will level up. You give him ghost and he's elusive, he's much harder to block. So that kind of works with that. You want 3 Navori Blade Scouts. They're 1 level, they're 2 damage, and they're elusive. If you get them in your first hand, I highly recommend trying to get them in the first hand, like mulliganing out a couple of cards to try and get them in the first hand, because if you can get them in the first hand and you're attacking, it's almost always a guaranteed 2 points of damage right off the bat. Then this card is less needed. Like you could probably switch it out with something, but I like to play with it because of the ability. I like to go with 3 Sparring Students. Though they get round by round basis a +1/+1 every time a creature is summoned. So in a lot of ways that really helps you. You can also move them into battle, and when Zed summons his own stuff, you know, it'll level him up. Plus there's a lot of tricks later that'll really beef him up in the moment. Then we're gonna pick 3 rushes. That gives you quick attack and a +1 on attack, which really can surprise some people. Another thing I really quickly want to talk about, I know we're kind of into the deck creation, so this is a little bit late, but this is the first video like this I've ever done, so give me a little leeway. One thing you really want to remember, hot tip, is with spells there's 3 speeds: slow, fast, burst. Okay? A slow spell means it takes your entire turn to cast it. Alright? A fast spell means it's faster than slow. And then a burst spell just happens. Okay? So the opponent can react to a fast spell, they can react to a slow spell, but that will also use your turn. And burst just happens like immediate. They really can't stop it. So keep that in mind when you're playing. Okay, so then we move down to, getting ahead of myself. We move down to a Green Blade Duo. I like to take 2 of these. It's a 2/1 elusive. Again, elusive can only be blocked by characters that have elusive as a trait when they're attacking. And they get a +1 every time you summon something. Again, that's a big help in this. And you want to keep the cost low. It makes it faster. Then I like 3 Navori Conspirators. Now they are a 2/2. They cost 2. And they also have elusive. But to play them, you have to recall a card. Recall meaning pick up one of your cards back to your hand. You might think this is a weakness. It's not. It's great, especially for some of the stuff later. The Navori Blade Scout has elusive only for the round it's summoned, so right there you can summon it back, summon it again the next round, get another 2 damage. It also helps you with the next card, which is the Navori Highwayman. Now, Navori Highwayman is a 1/2, but when it's summoned, it summons a card that is basically the exact same copy, like a copy of itself, which is also 1/2, or whatever the card was when it gets summoned. This is another great one because you can recall it with the Navori Conspirator, then summon it again. Now you've got, 3 instead of 2. It also helps in a lot of other situations. I actually skipped by one. You need 3 Keeper of the Masks. This is another one that's probably interchangeable, but I like him because he's got a big blocking power in those moments where I need to sacrifice someone with a 3. So he helps you in the overwhelmed situations. He also gives a +1 to all your allies when you summon him. Well, you've already seen 2 allies I've summoned give you plus every time he's summoned, so that's a +3 bonus for just summoning him. I'm sorry, +2 bonus just for summoning him. Then this is the crux of the deck, the Silent Shadow Seer. You want 3 Silent Shadow Seers. Crux of the deck. I'll show you some really cool tricks. Now, it's ephemeral, so it dies at the end of the turn. But what's really cool is if it manages to hit the opponent's nexus, not enemies, the nexus, it goes right back to your hand. So it almost makes it so that the opponent can't kill it on their turn. I mean, you got to keep spending those points, but you keep them on your hand, and you keep just every time you get the attack token back, dropping it down, nailing them with the Silent Shadow Seer. Really like this spell. This creature. It's also elusive, which makes it even harder to hit. After that, I take 3. Make sure I got this right. Yeah. 3 Shadow Assassins. They are elusive. This helps you get your hand back. Every time you play them, you get 1 card back. They're also 2/2s, and they're elusive, which is nice, again. Then I take 3 Twin Disciples. This can give an ally a +3 attack or a +3 defense, and it's a burst, so it happens like that, which is huge, again, to really surprise and bait those opponents. I can't tell you how many times you're attacking, and somebody defends with a way higher card, and you can nail them, knock them out with that Twin Disciples card. Then we're kind of to the end, to the real crux. This one, Dawn and Dusk, all 3 of them. This thing is a beast. Here's what it is. It's a slow spell, so they do have a chance to counter, but it summons 2 exact copies of an ally. They are ephemeral, meaning they die at the end of the turn. So you wait till you have the attack token, you cast this spell, and you cast it on, that's right, the Silent Shadow Seer. Now remember this sucker's power. Nexus Strike, create a copy of me in the hand. So, and they're already ephemeral. So while this card normally would summon 2 others, they would die at the end of the turn whether they hit or not, you can basically get yourself up to like 6 of the Silent Shadow Seers in your hand just by doing this over and over again. Plus, that's 9 damage right there. That's half your opponent's health if you can nail them, especially if you play anything else after it. It is absolutely a great combo. On top of that, you can also play Dawn and Dusk with Zed himself. Now remember, he summons a living shadow when he goes into attack. You summon Zed, there's 2 more Zeds on, you attack with those 2 Zeds, then you've got 3 living shadows and 2 Zeds plus the original Zed. I mean, and he's 3/2 with quick attack. Again, quick attack means your damage is calculated before the other opponent's damage. So even if they have enough to kill you, as long as you're doing enough to kill them, they die first, and you're fine. You don't take any damage. So it's that Dawn and Dusk card, I can't tell you, like, that is the killer. You get that card in your hand. I know it's high cost. Like, you think about everything else I've played as 2s and 3s. I know that one's high cost, but it's also a spell, too, and you build up mana in this game, which are kind of like little extra points that are just used for spells, which just, like, you can build that up, and when you play that Dawn and Dusk, it really messes some opponents up if you use it correctly. And then finally, for good measure, because I have 2 spots left, I put in the Windfarer Hatchling. That's elusive, and it not only is it elusive for 2, but when it's played, it gives all your other allies +2/+2 this round, which, again, it just stacks on stacks on stacks on all those other bonuses that you already have out there, hopefully. So there's a lot of combos and a lot of just, it's simple and it's elegant, and it will get you to the finish line on a lot of these matches. As long as you play it correctly, you gotta choose your shots and choose your battles. Another thing you really want to watch out for is you want to be okay with taking some damage. And you'll see that in the demo that I'm going to show you. Of course, I'm going to show you the thing in battle. I think I was at Bronze 3 when I was playing with this deck in this match that I'm going to show you. So that's it, guys. That's kind of like your beginner's pack, your beginner's guide to Runeterra from Old Man Gaming. And I know it's horrible, but everything we do is horrible. So hopefully you guys like it and you enjoy it, and this helps you a little bit. And feel free to comment below with any questions or comments. I'm really enjoying Runeterra. I might do some more videos if you guys like it. I might keep playing, keep doing some videos for it, go into the other factions, maybe do some decks for them too. So I could even do like a faction video on them, like whatever you guys think is great. So I would love to hear from you guys. And if you think it's terrible, this video is terrible, that's fair too. Go ahead and tell me in the comments below, and I won't do one again. So thanks, guys, and happy hunting, and enjoy this demo.
Hi guys, back again. I just really quickly wanted to go over, basically do commentary on the match that I played, the demo match, just to show you guys what I can do with it. So, right off the bat, you can see I got the Navori in the hand. Play that first, takes your points down, but he's elusive with a 2. That character's not going to be able to block. So, boom. That's 2 damage right off the bat first turn, which is great. So you want to try and have one of those in the first round. Again, they lose the elusive, but that's okay. They're great for blocking at that point. So now I'm weighing my options. I decide to play another elusive. She's a good one because she keeps elusive, and I don't have the attack this turn. The opponent does. So he's going to attack. I'm going to let him hit me because I don't want to draw that last breath that he has. And there's no point in losing my character at that point. It's just 1 damage. My turn again. 3. I play Zed. Now, he doesn't have enough to stop me, so I'm going to go after him with Zed right off the bat. I'm pretty sure. I hope I didn't speak for myself out of turn. I might make a mistake or two in this one, too. Oh, he stunned Zed, which is great. It means Zed won't be able to attack this turn, but he won't die. I will still use my elusive, though. Keep chipping him away. That's another 3 damage. Plus, she went up by 1 because of the Zed stun. Ghost. That's a great ability. I think we'll see one of the combos that I was talking about in the deck creation here. All right, he's going to kill him to draw his last breath. That's Spirit, can't remember if they had the Spirit Isles or whatever. They like to do the last breath cards. Now he just passed. I'm going to play Navori Conspirator. That brings the Blade Scout back to my hand, and when I play that Blade Scout again, he will have elusive again. Plus I got a 2/2 out of it with elusive. Now again, one thing that's great about this deck is elusive subverts so many attackers. So he can just stack attackers on attackers, but he's not going to be able to block you come your turn. And it's really kind of a gamble on that. You have to really decide when it's time to start blocking and when it's just okay to take damage and build up to that big hit.
What's that noise? Lady Elise?
Again, one thing about this deck, you're going to be staring down big forces, or many forces, and you really just got to make those decisions.
Get out of here.
You can't be afraid of it. Remember, you're subverting. You're not taking him on directly. So, again, I let him hit. I'm not going to give him the last breath. I still had 19. Now I got 17. I'm still ahead. I now have the attack token back. I don't actually think we get to see a Dusk Dawn combo in this game, but still. Remember, Dusk Till Dawn with either Zed or the Silent Shadow Seer, it's a winner every time. Or close to, unless they can counter it. So I play the Shadow Assassin to draw another card. It also gives my duo another +1. We've got everything elusive except for Zed. And I still have 2 mana and 2 normal points for spending stuff. Now, really the question is, do you go for the attack or do you give your opponent another turn? And I decide not to. I've got enough damage out there. So I'm also going to cast Elusive on Zed. It makes him elusive for this turn, so he can't be blocked. Fortunately, it does not transfer to the Living Shadow, but still that'll be 1 hit towards Zed leveling up. Remember, when you're playing the Ghost ability, always play it before the opponent blocks, because once the opponent blocks, it doesn't matter whether you make your character elusive or not. So just make sure to cast that when you're attacking. So now you're going to see some big damage going his way. It's going to stop my shadow, but I'm going to get 1 point towards Zed leveling up, and I'm going to take him all the way down to 5 health. So you can see right now it's already kind of elementary. Play the Student Scout just to put him out there. Still have 1, but I'll pass. Now he's going to get the attack. Let's see what he does with it. And again, you can see how this is working. It's fast. You keep your cost low, and you keep as many of your characters with elusive or quick attack as you can. And you hit them as hard and as fast as you can. And usually your speed gets through. Now, he just brought a spider down that gave me big damage reductions for this turn. He's going to attack, but honestly, I'm going to count it up, and I don't even think I'm going to block here because I've already gotten him beat. We'll see. I like to think my moves out. Oh, he backpedaled. Nope, now he's back out again. Sorry, I played this a couple of days ago. I just thought commentary would be helpful for it, but I don't exactly remember what happened in it. All right, so he has not 16. So again, I'm playing the gambling game. I'm just going to take it down to 4 because I have a ton of elusives sitting there. I'm going to get all those points back because his effect no longer works. I've got Dawn and Dusk too. I don't even think I play that. I think I just go for the kill.
Let's move!
I'm thinking about adding something to it. Decide against it. Instead, I just go for the kill, and it's done. Now you can see how this deck works. It's fast, it's quick. You want to keep your cost low and hit hard fast, and let the attacks sometimes go by. Again, hope this helped you guys. If you guys want more, comment below, and I'd love to hear from you, and I'll make more Runeterra videos if you guys like it. See you next time.